On the exact same night as the Great Chicago Fire, a much deadlier fire tore through a Wisconsin town. It killed more people than any wildfire in American history, and almost nobody has ever heard of it. Here's the real chain. Peshtigo, Wisconsin was a booming lumber town in the 1870s, surrounded by dense forest and sawdust-covered logging operations. The summer and fall of 1871 had been extremely dry across the entire upper Midwest, leaving the surrounding forest primed like kindling. Small brush fires, common that autumn as farmers cleared land, had been burning for weeks in the region without drawing much concern. On the night of October 8th, a powerful cold front moved through, and the resulting winds fused those scattered small fires into something far more dangerous. The fire developed into what meteorologists now call a fire whirl, a self-sustaining firestorm generating winds strong enough to uproot trees. It moved with terrifying speed, reportedly overtaking the town so fast that residents had almost no warning before it arrived. Survivors described a roar like a freight train and a wall of flame that seemed to appear from nowhere within minutes. Many residents fled into the Peshtigo River itself, standing in the water for hours as the fire consumed the entire town around them. Even the river wasn't fully safe. Falling embers and radiant heat still injured and killed people standing in the water. By the time the fire finally burned out, it had destroyed well over 1 million acres of forest and multiple towns across the region. Estimates of the death toll range from around 1,000 to 2,500 people, making it the deadliest wildfire in United States history. That same night, hundreds of miles away, a much smaller fire broke out in Chicago, destroying a few square miles and killing around 300 people. Chicago was a major national city with newspapers, telegraph lines, and reporters already in place. Peshtigo was a remote logging town most Americans had never heard of. News of the Chicago fire spread across the country within a day. News of Peshtigo, the far deadlier disaster, took much longer to reach the outside world at all. By the time the true scale of Peshtigo's destruction became clear, the nation's attention was already locked entirely on Chicago's rebuilding story. Peshtigo became a historical footnote almost immediately, overshadowed by an event that, in terms of lives lost, was actually smaller. But the disaster did leave a lasting mark, even if the public barely noticed. Investigators studying the fire identified a clear, preventable pattern. Aggressive logging had stripped protective tree cover across huge areas, while leftover branches and sawdust created massive amounts of dry fuel on the forest floor. That connection between unmanaged logging waste and catastrophic wildfire risk became a foundational argument for organized forest management in America. In the following decades, the United States moved toward creating dedicated agencies to manage forests and actively prevent wildfire disasters like this one. The U.S. Forest Service, established in 1905, took direct responsibility for fire prevention and forest management on a national scale for the first time. Modern wildfire prevention practices, prescribed burns, cleared fuel breaks, and coordinated fire response all trace their roots to lessons learned from disasters exactly like Peshtigo. Today, the National Weather Service still studies the Peshtigo fire directly when researching how extreme fire behavior and fire whirls actually develop. The deadliest fire in American history happened on the exact same night as a far more famous one, and it still shaped how the entire country fights wildfires today. Follow Forgotten Record for more real chains, history,